Hi, so we're here in Budapest, which is, if you like neoclassical architecture, then there's so much of it, it's ridiculous. And we're here for two reasons. First of all, we're filming content for the Jolly Heretic Substack, very interesting movies we've got coming up and stuff like this. And secondly, we're here for the rather ironically called London Conference on Intelligence, which has of course been driven out of London, first out of the University of London, University College London, as you may have read about, and then for reasons I won't bore you with, out even of a hotel in London. So we thought it was safer to come to Budapest, where people are more based and friendly to things like logic and reason, and they don't speak English, bless them. I mean, they really don't speak English. But I guess not speaking English is the protective coating of scientific basedness. I mean, there's no English, same thing. I mean, we're now in Pride Month. Is there a rainbow flag on the Parliament? I can't see one. So it's a bit different here. It's not perfect. There's things that are not good, and there's lots of things that I haven't liked. But the one thing I have liked is you are safe to do a scientific conference on any aspect of science you like, and there will not be a problem. So that's the one thing that's good about Budapest, I have to say. Right, chaps, so hello, and welcome to this very special edition of the Jolly Heretic, where I say random stuff because I have no script. But we're walking around in Pest, in the avant-garde, interesting part of Budapest, and we've just been to a restaurant called I forget what it's called, but it was very good, and I had some wonderful duck with one of the world's most controversial people. I won't name him to protect his... He would be more controversial if he knew me. But excellent, and we're going to go to the cathedral now to take photographs for reasons I can't understand. So see you in a bit. Look how unhappy everybody is. Look at her. She's furious. Look at the way the women wear dresses. Look at the way the women dress like women. It's intolerable, this country. And this, by the way, is the most left-wing city in Hungary. I should stress that. Where are the rainbow flags? How can this city function without rainbow flags? Why isn't the sky falling in? So this is a very beautiful city, I have to say. And it was once under a terrible virtue signalling leftist dictatorship. And it's tried to shake this off in 1956. We didn't help in any way, and it's shaking it off. And I mean, look at the detail on that. I mean, you wouldn't get that in Detroit. Look at that gargoyle. Yes, I do walk with a limp. Yes, I'm 17% spastic. Eat it up, hope not hate. I'm more spastic than you. I'm higher up on the hierarchy. What are you going to do? There's a point when you run out of spontaneous, witty things to say, and it just becomes just random noise. It's difficult. It's the stuff that gets cut out of films and put in clip shows. And we're at that point, I'm afraid, because I've lost it now. I liked my remark earlier about it's not flowing. I'll just talk through everything I do. Crossing the road, chaps. Crossing the road. I could walk how I used to walk when I was about 9. There you go, hope not hate. What do you think of that? The grievance hierarchy. Chaps, we are standing in front of the Hungarian Parliament, which, as you know, is the most evil parliament in the universe. I feel literally unsafe.
So there are some classical liberals that say, actually, you don't want the state having this type of power. That's a dodgy precedent, because, okay, now it's the people you agree with in power, but soon, one day, it won't be, and those laws can be changed and turned against you. Therefore, you want a state that really is all about negative freedom. What do you say to that type of critique, kind of libertarian?
I have every sympathy for the libertarian critique, but the problem is that if you live in a libertarian society, then it will ultimately be is more likely to be taken advantage of by left-wing people than right-wing people. We know that we have these 5 moral foundations, the group-oriented foundations and the individual-oriented foundations. The Conservatives are about equal in all 5, and the Liberals are high in the individually-oriented foundation, that's harm, avoidance and equality, and low in the others. So there's asymmetric empathy. And so therefore things will always tend to move in a liberal direction until there's basically a conservative backlash. So I think that's a misguided criticism. If you pass legislation like this, you are standing in the way of almost inevitable movement towards liberal ideas. And extreme liberal ideas can be very damaging because they put us in an evolutionary mismatch where we have dysphoria, where we're very unhappy.
How do you ensure that the state won't misuse those powers once they've been granted?
Well, you would have to have, as with any kind of legislation, you would have to have extremely careful legislation. That's what good parliamentarians are supposed to do, to look at all possible angles and all possible ways in which they could be misused in order to write those out of the law. For example, when they passed the civil rights legislation in America, which said that you can't discriminate on the grounds, surely they should have also passed laws saying that you can't discriminate on the grounds of political viewpoint or religion or anything else, but they didn't. And so the result of that is that you can have the weaponization of civil rights laws by leftists against their political opponents. And the very laws which said you can't not allow a black person to stay in a hotel or whatever can now be used against political opponents. It's simply bad, biased legislation. Being filmed, it's weird really. When I was at university doing my theology degree, this is not how I felt my life would pan out. I never saw a man who looked so wistfully at the day. I never saw a man who looked with such a wistful eye upon that little tent of blue we prisoners call the sky. And I wasn't as aware when I was here in 2011 of the brilliance of the architecture. If you've not been to Budapest, chaps, then I mean, if you just want constant, brilliant, sort of Baroque type based architecture or basedness and interesting 19th century architecture, there's definitely a place to come.
Architecture is the gateway drug to the all-right.
Architecture, well, yeah, because if you think about it, what do the left try to do? They try to evoke disgust, and in evoking disgust, they evoke a sense of chaos, and in that sense of chaos, they can attain power for themselves. Beautiful architecture is the opposite of chaos. Beauty is order, it is structure, it is symmetry, and therefore, in that sense, that's quite right, that it is the gateway to conservative thinking, and also an expression of it. I don't like trams.
This is controversial.
It's not controversial. What's the point of them? Like,
they're beautiful.
They're not beautiful. They're just loud buses that run along very loud rails.
Slow living.
That make it difficult to drive. If you drive in Stockholm, the number of tram rails, it's like driving in a country full of potholes. Trams should be banned.
Maybe cars should be banned.
Cars are a smooth, beautiful, graceful thing, like a swan. Trams are like a cawing, screaming rook. And
when I rush
trams will be banned along with bananas.
What have you got against bananas?
They taste disgusting, they smell disgusting, I can't stand bananas.
Do you know what the most popular single item bought from every single small little Tesco 24/7 is?
A miniature tram. and that just kills me inside, frankly, that people can be so degenerate.
How have you found the conference?
Yeah, I mean, it's the usual bunch of autistic weirdos, but with no social skills and no ability to read facial expressions and whatever, but on the other hand, a good ability to engage in logical reasoning and to fearlessly pursue based subjects, such as how, there was one person at the conference, a study of how biology is different from that of people that aren't, mental illness and life history strategy and stuff. There was another one on prostitutes who've been interviewed about what it was like having sex with men of penis size and how quickly they ejaculate and what kind of sex they want. There was another fascinating one about how... Hello, you naughty little academic dissident you. Now, listen, here's the situation. Our mutant YouTube overlords are censoring my spiciest content. So it is absolutely vital that you click on the link below to jollyheretic.com and make your way over there where you will find the strongest and spiciest drinks behind the bar. So join our Jolly Heretic Substack community today and I will see you there, and goodbye! Would you like to move beyond a boomer in spirit delivering content from his cellar? What about a boomer in spirit delivering content into a drone? Tally-ho! How? By supporting the Jolly Heretic experience and specifically our upcoming documentary on intelligence and the future of civilization. We will take a trip to the world of the future, action, adventure, and of course, Evidence-Based Science. We will present all of the evidence that intelligence is behind the rise and fall of civilization. Along the way, we will trigger academics, befriend ghetto dwellers, and travel to strange and dangerous places. In fact, we might not come back alive. You may ask where all the money goes. There's a lot. There's travel expenses, there's transport, there's my crew. I can't do it all by myself. I mean, after all, I've been locked in a basement for the last 4 years. So prove your dissident status with money. Stop virtue signaling, put your money where your mouth is, and become a paid subscriber. It was never this cheap to save the world, or at least watch it burn in 4K. And if you have really deep pockets, then why not become a founding member of our Substack? For $500 a year, you'll get your name in all of the credits of all our documentaries, and you'll even get a phone call with the landlord himself.